And hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bear Sessions, episode 2. I'm Shantae.
And I'm Sarah.
Today, we'll be talking a little bit about breathwork, a recent breathwork event that we went to. We'll be going through different types of breathwork exercises, the benefits of breathwork, and kind of how we do with our clients.
Super excited to talk about the event that we went to. It's called Soul Expansion. And this event has been on our radar for many, many months. The first time they came to Toronto, Shantae
Mm-hmm.
had sent me the link. I saw the video, and right away I knew this is something that I want to do with you. Not just by myself,
Sure.
I want to do it with you. It's
Yeah.
a really good experience to share together.
Mm-hmm.
So where it was in the Distillery District at the Illuminarium. For anyone that's in Toronto or from Toronto, you probably know what the Illuminarium is. It's a space where they have all this immersive visuals and lights. It's almost like stepping into VR without the
Yeah.
glasses.
Facts. Yeah.
Like you step in and you feel like you're in another dimension, another world. So it was really, really cool to go there and to be there.
Yeah.
So the Soul Expansion event it's a multi-sensory event designed to foster deep connection, renewal, and personal growth. It combines live music, breathwork, and meditation to create an immersive experience aimed at recalibrating the nervous system and promoting inner exploration. So you can think of this meditation event or experience amplified because there's visuals, there's live music, there's guided meditation all
Yeah.
in one.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about our experience in terms of how we felt right before the event,
Yeah.
during the event, and then after the event. So Shantae, how did you feel
Yeah.
going into
So
it?
like as you said before, when I did send you that the first time that I think they were coming, or the first time we saw that they were here, there was a lot of excitement around it. It was something that I knew I definitely wanted to experience with you for sure. So there was a lot of excitement. There was also a little bit of apprehension as well because you never know, especially for being a person of color. It's like you don't know uh, how you're gonna fit in a space, in
Mm-hmm.
certain spaces, especially in certain wellness spaces in Toronto. So there was a little bit of apprehension about that and what it's gonna look like for me or how I was gonna enjoy that being in that space. Um, but yeah, I was still super excited to be there and learn a lot more about breathwork because it has been something that's been intriguing to me, and I have used like a few techniques in session. So I wanted to kind of see what else it had to offer. Um, so yeah, I was very excited.
Yes, and I love that you mentioned that you were a little apprehensive, that you being
Yeah,
very transparent and vulnerable about your experience. Can
yeah,
you talk a little more about what it's like to feel perhaps like you don't belong in certain
hmm,
spaces? What is that experience like for you?
yeah. I think for the most part, it's just how will I be received in that setting, or will it be for me? You know,
Mm,
because I do find myself to be very open to a lot of things, but sometimes a lot of things are not open to you.
mm,
So there was that in my head when I was going into the experience. But for me, I wanted to learn more, or my want or desire to learn was a little bit higher. So I kind of just like put that to the back of my head and just say I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna be open to the experience, and then I'll have the best outcome. I don't want to go in with like a negative thought process and then have a negative experience. So I definitely had to confront my own bias in that way, and be like, this space didn't say that it was shut off to any sort of race or religion or ethnicity. So just go in with an open mind.
mhm.
That's what I did, and I found that really worked.
Yeah, and I think for an event like that, some people might look at it and think that must be a very spiritual type of
Mm-hmm.
event.
Yeah.
And so I really like that they didn't stay, okay, this is catered to this certain religion or these certain spiritual beliefs. It really was an event for all.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was welcome.
Yeah.
I remember even seeing a child. Was it a
Yeah.
child or a baby?
I, there was a baby. There's
It was a baby. I was like, oh, okay. What a Zen baby. Because at first, to be honest, when I saw the little child, I was like, is this child going to be annoying? And are they
yeah.
going to ruin my
This,
mindfulness
this
and
that
the meditative
experience.
state? I really hope not. But I
Yeah.
didn't hear a sound from the
Mm-hmm.
little child.
Yeah.
So that must be a very proud parent. Kudos to them, because
I know.
me, I would feel so anxious bringing my child to something like that.
Yeah. It wouldn't even be a thought.
No, absolutely not. So I guess how I felt going
Yeah.
into that event, I remember on that particular day, I had two sessions in the morning, and the weather was gray and
Yeah, it was
sad.
cool.
So I wasn't feeling the best. I wasn't feeling energized. I wasn't feeling too happy.
Mm-hmm.
So going into it, I was like, I hope I can really stay grounded, because I find that I'm tired. And usually when I'm tired, it's really hard for me to
Mm-hmm.
focus and to
Yeah.
really be attuned with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, once I saw you, once we had our little girl dinner,
Yeah.
my energy level started to increase. I started to feel a little bit more excited. The sun came out. Remember the moment the sun came out and we're like,
Just like
yes,
peeked out. And you're like, yes.
like finally.
Listen, the
Um,
sun has some like magical properties, I swear. Like as soon as we see that, especially living in Toronto, as soon as you see that a little ounce of sunshine, you want to go
yeah.
outside. You want to be outside. You want to be a part of the scene.
Also, I just want to say thank you, because I would have showed up to that event empty handed. So as I was getting ready, I got a text from Shanti, and she's like, hey, don't forget to bring your yoga mat and your pillow and your blanket. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? And she was like, well, didn't you read the email? It
Do not
clearly
read.
has instructions to bring these things. I did not read the email. So I'm really glad that I did bring my things, because then I would have been lying down on a cold floor, and it probably wouldn't have been a great experience.
I would have shared. Don't worry, I got you.
Probably would
Got
not
you,
fit.
boo.
It
I
would
would
not
have
fit on your on your one yoga mat designed for that
on
one
yoga mat.
person. But thanks for the
You're
thoughts.
welcome, boo. I got you.
So how did you feel during the session? What
Mm.
was your experience like?
I was zen. I was so zen. I think even getting to the point where it was like, because if you've ever tried meditation before, the opening line is always like, find a comfortable position, be in a position where you find or the most comfort or the most grounded. And sometimes that takes a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you do put yourself in that physical position, then it's like, how do I shut my brain off? Because I'm someone whose brain is just like,
Mm-hmm.
so being able to quickly get to that point where I can just woosah and clear my brain was really cool. um as soon as he started that guided meditation, I was able to like follow along. I found it really easy to follow along with his instructions and the visuals. Like I found it super easy, and sometimes it's hard and it's difficult. So if it's very hard for you to think about visuals or follow meditative instructions, I think this would be a great beginner um place to go learn it, because or try it out, just because it was very simple. It wasn't too complex. And he was right there with you the whole time, which I really appreciated. So I found it was very relaxing. It was very zen. I was able to find my peace and literally feel my body shut down or like go on a pause. Not shut down in a negative way, but just calm down. How about you? What'd you feel?
I relate to that 100%. I think Freddie. So Freddie is the founder of Soul Expansion. He is the band leader and also the facilitator of the guided meditation. Super talented. I agree. His ability to guide
Mm.
that whole experience was so it was so inspiring. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was his voice or his cadence or
Yeah.
um, you could just tell that he is an expert in what he does. And usually, when it comes to meditation, I struggle a lot with staying focused and really following along. But I think because of all of the other elements of the event, like the music, the humming, the movement,
Oh yeah.
because I felt like I had different options and things to resort to, I didn't feel overwhelmed or pressured to do it right. It
Yeah.
just felt very, follow your body, let your body do all the work here, unplug, let your body be. You don't
Hmm.
need to necessarily push it or anything like that. Um, yeah, so I felt this deep relaxation. I remember looking over at you and you were knocked out, fast
Hey,
asleep.
oh. Like a good 5 minutes, I was gone. I was out.
Oh,
I
I
was
was
out.
like, damn, she looks so graceful and peaceful in her little slumber. I love that for her. And it's just so interesting because my experience was a little bit different in a way where I think I experienced a lot of emotional release.
Hmm.
Part of Freddie's guided meditation involved inner child work, where he essentially guided us to meet our inner child, our younger selves. And I remember following along, and at one point, tears were just streaming down my face. I felt like I didn't feel the need to stop them. I didn't feel the need to wipe my face. I just let it all go.
Yeah.
And it felt so good to be able to just release and then also not care
Yeah.
about the people around me. Because I think usually I'm a very hyper vigilant person. So I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm crying. Like people might think I'm being overly dramatic, but honestly, I didn't care. I felt like I was in
Yeah.
my own little world. I felt so present with myself, and it was such a beautiful experience.
It was, it was. And a good thing that you said about just not caring about others around you. I
Mm-hmm.
did find that that entire experience, like once we got inside and we laid our mats down and we even made a friend, which
Mm-hmm.
is cool. Like it felt very community based. Like a lot of people knew each other already. So you went in with a sense of everyone's here to do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's here to be a part of this journey together, but they're not looking at you. They're not like judging you if you're doing it, if you're not doing it. People did what they were comfortable with, which was amazing, and they felt comfortable to do that. So that really speaks to the power of community and like connection, especially in wellness spaces.
Oh, yeah. And do you think that going into it and knowing that the other attendees were likely very like-minded, um,
Mm-hmm.
also
Yeah,
cared
yeah,
about wellness and things, do you think that helped us to feel
for
more
sure,
comfortable?
for sure. Because it's such a weird thing to do together. I feel like if anyone has watched the videos, there is so much intention behind the idea of breathwork in a communal space. So
Mhm.
if you're going to sign up to be a part of it, you 100% have to feel like comfortable with the people around you in a way because you're closing your eyes. And for some people, like for some people who've who suffered from like trauma, even the simple act of closing their eyes may be triggering, right?
Mhm.
Especially in a space where they don't know anyone. So there's definitely a thought about what would it feel like to be in this space surrounded by people that you don't know and getting to that level of like comfort, and they were able to bring that out of us or help or create a space where we all felt comfortable to do that. Yeah.
I remember looking around and, just doing a little skim of the room. And I saw some people were, they were lying down, deeply relaxed. Other people were doing yoga positions. Some people were stretching. And I really like that because there wasn't a pressure to do a certain thing or have your body be a certain way. It
Yeah.
was just Freddie conveyed this idea of follow your body, whatever it needs right now. If it needs to stretch, if you need to just lie down, be on your side, do what you feel is right for you, and that automatically alleviates this pressure of doing it the right way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How was your experience after? Like, what did you notice in your
Mm.
body or in yourself after?
I felt very calm, um, which was which is nice, especially like within my body. I felt very calm within my body and also like my mind. Uh, I got a good rest,
Mm-hmm.
a
You
good
sure
five
did.
minute nap. It was a nice little like reboot to myself.
Yeah.
And if anything, it made me more interested and intrigued by breath work,
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to learn more and wanting to do a lot more. How about you?
I felt extremely inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you incorporate breathwork into your work with clients, and I do as well. So it inspired me to perhaps expand some of the breathwork techniques and things that I use with clients and maybe to use it even more frequently.
Yeah.
It also
Mm-hmm.
inspired me to do this more.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in the Illuminarium every night, but
Yes.
perhaps I can do something similar at home where I do
Yeah.
put on some like hi-fi music or sounds and then put on a guided meditation of some sort. This because clearly it's something that does work for my body and it does help me feel very relaxed and attuned with myself.
Yeah.
um, it made me realize that perhaps I'm not as attuned with my body as I
Mm-hmm.
thought I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I feel
it,
that. I feel that one.
right, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, the fact that this feels very new and this feels very, it's been a while since I felt this way, um, helped me bring some awareness
Yeah.
to myself of
Yeah.
like, okay,
Mhm.
perhaps I need to incorporate more of this, feeling more grounded, more breath work into my everyday because I do like feeling this way. I like feeling
I
present.
think it's interesting that you said that because we it's so easy for us to just live in our minds, as opposed to like actually taking the time to check in with our bodies as well. So it's like our mind and our bodies are so separate, and we forget to tap into it and know that it's also important to nourish it, and
Mm-hmm.
not just nourish it like with food, but with movement, right? There's so many days where I'm so stuck in my head that when I do decide to get out of it and get up and actually go for a walk or even dance or even like stretch, like that release just by doing those movements, like the happiness that comes with it, and just it's a great cheap option of kind of getting yourself back on track or feeling better or lifting your spirits, like the simple art of just going for a walk, enjoying the sun, on your skin, enjoying your toes in the sand or in grass or on a cold surface, um, like really feeling grounded in your body,
Mm-hmm.
can help quiet the noise, in your brain a lot quicker than we give credit for.
Yeah, and I think many people in therapy sometimes their complaints about therapy is I already know how to, you know, identify what are the origins of my trauma. I've already done
Yeah.
that, intellectualize some of your symptoms and, past experiences. But sometimes over intellectualizing our thoughts can be a blessing and a curse
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, okay, I'm making sense of everything, but I still feel very bleh. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's this void in my life. And oftentimes, that would be a really good opportunity to then be like, let me focus on my body. Like, how connected am I to
Mm-hmm.
my body? And this is what dissociation is. It's almost as if you're here, but you're not really here.
Yeah.
You are in a state of autopilot, just going through the day, pushing through, but not actually being attuned with how your body is feeling. So I think something like the soul expansion event encourages you to become attuned with your body and to actually use your body to release some of that stored stress and anxiety. Something that I'm remembering right now is at the very beginning of the experience, Freddie instructed us to get up,
Yeah.
to shake, to dance,
Dance.
just really get it all out while the
Mm-hmm.
music was playing. And honestly, I remember at first I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I
I
feel
got no
about
rhythm.
this.
The shaky
Like
body.
that perfectionist in me was saying you gotta like shake the right way and don't look weird.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Mm-hmm.
took around 10 to 15 seconds for me to just look around and see that no one was looking at
Yeah.
me, no one was
No. Yeah.
evaluating me, and to just really let loose and move my body the way it needed to be moved at that moment. And all of that exhaustion and low energy that I had felt prior to going into that session, moving like that made me feel so energized. And it
Mm.
also made me feel a little happy. So it
Yeah.
increased my mood as well, which was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I really like that he started with that. I think he was saying, I want you guys to just release all of the stress from today. So, what stood out to you this entire experience? What were some things that really stood out to you that perhaps maybe you didn't expect, or even after you might have been thinking about?
I would say I think there was a moment where we were asked to use our voices and just kind of like follow along to the singing that was happening. And in my head, I'm like, I can't sing. Do you really want me to like go on these chords for you right now? But the feeling of everyone just releasing, and it actually sounding good. Like it
Mm-hmm.
felt, not only did it like feel good, it sounded good. And just the overall vibe of the entire event was do what feels comfortable to you.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some people who were going high, there are some people going low, and you didn't feel like you needed to make it sound a certain way. And and I think the girl who was singing, she also said that like if I do it this way and it feels better for you to do it another way, do it. It felt like freedom and freedom to just be
Mm-hmm.
be like open with your body and just let it do what it does automatically. Was nice. See what you can come up with, see what vibe you're on in that moment. It's really like pushing your body to a limit and seeing what that limit is. Or it's like you're seeing yourself for the first time, and your capabilities. It's like rediscovering yourself in a different way, rediscovering your body in a different way. And I thought that was really
Ooh.
cool.
I
Yeah.
love that you mentioned freedom. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even think of that. I think freedom is such a perfect word to describe that entire experience.
Yeah.
Because when I think of freedom, it really was just not overthinking anything for 2 hours, not thinking about my day on what, like the stress of the day, not thinking about what happened yesterday, not thinking about what I need to do the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom of being in the here and now
Yeah.
and enjoying it.
And it's a beautiful thing.
It's such a beautiful thing. And I think because we live in this society where it's hustle and bustle and fast paced and just go, 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 you have all these tasks, you finish a task, on to the next task, or overthinking about something, ruminating, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
very difficult for us to just stop be where our feet are,
Yeah.
just be.
Yeah. Be in our vessel that's taken us throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
and um, just I don't know if anyone's ever read The Body Keeps the Score by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, I think is it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
a major theme in that book is that our bodies hold on to a lot of unprocessed trauma that we
Mm-hmm.
have. So when we think that trauma is just in the head and we're just like focusing on that, it affects so many other parts of you that is beyond like your mind, like your body. People with like chronic pain or fatigue um, have found movement to be so helpful with helping them heal because you're letting that energy flow out your body through movement. So
Mm-hmm.
again, it's been proven that moving your body is helpful for your therapy and for getting better.
Speaking of trauma, Brene Brown, we love her over here. So Brene Brown, I remember in one of her TED Talks, she talked about being a breath holder.
Mm,
She would say, I recall many years of my life being a breath holder, and what that meant was during stressful situations or even non-stressful situations, she noticed that she'd be holding her breath.
mm,
And breath holding can actually be a sign of trauma, right? It's sort of this fear response. You're waiting for something
okay.
to go wrong or to go
Yeah.
south.
For the
It's
other shoe
almost
to
like,
drop.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, the shoe drop. And literally, I resonate with that a lot. I think for many years of my life, I've always been this breath holder. It is a sign of anxiety and all that. And so attending this event where you are literally forced to exhale.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Exhaling for around 2 hours, inhale, exhale for 2 hours. It gave me this clarity of I need more of this. Give me
Mm-hmm.
more. I need to
Yeah.
I need to be so much more intentional and aware of my breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And some of you might be like, what do you mean? Like, we breathe every single day, we're breathing all day long. We will talk a little bit more about the science behind why
Mm.
intentional breathing can be super helpful. Um, but yeah, that was just my little golden nugget.
I love that. I love that.
So something that stood out to me, there were a few things. I would say number one would be the good music. I didn't expect the music to be that great
Yeah.
because I went into it thinking this was primarily like a meditation type of event. But the talent of the band, there was a
Oh
live
yeah.
violinist, there were drummers, guitarists. Oh my goodness, everyone
Yeah.
on that band was so talented. The
So talented.
vocalists, Freddie, and the woman that was also singing,
I wish if I
voice
knew her name,
phenomenal.
like she killed it. It
She
felt like you were that part of Avatar where they were like around the tree and they were like all holding each other
Yes.
and
Oh
chanting.
my goodness.
Her voice is amazing, amazing.
Her
Like you in a
voice,
trance.
it just like spoke to my soul. I don't know what it was, but this just shows the power of music, the power of human voices
Mm-hmm.
as a tool for wellness. I also really liked how at one point someone was going around with sage. So I think you were sleeping.
Yeah, I was
You're
so
knocked out.
yeah.
But I remember like opening my eye and then I saw someone walk around with
What a bad
sage.
vibe.
The use of using senses, like the sense of
Mm-hmm.
smell and all that, was incredible. It gave me this automatic feeling of calm. There was a violinist that was walking around as well.
Mm.
Overall, it was the musical aspect of this was so
Yeah.
incredible. Something else that stood out to me was that Freddie instructed us throughout the entire breathwork piece to breathe using your mouth,
Mm.
not
Yes.
your nose.
Who
And so
knows?
this
Yeah.
was very different for me because something that I convey to my clients is inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth.
Yes.
So I did some research on why mouth breathing is used in breathwork events and workshops, and I found some reasons why. So they say that mouth breathing increases oxygen intake and carbon dioxide release, temporarily initiating something called a controlled fight or flight response for heightened awareness or deep emotional processing.
Mm.
Number two is that it encourages emotional release. So, this is what really resonated with me. The reason why is because it bypasses normal breathing control, allowing stored tension or trauma to
Mm.
surface, leading to crying, tingling, or deep relaxation. I remember feeling the tingling in my
Mm.
feet and my fingers. And Freddie actually did say, like before he started, he's like, if you feel any tingling, don't be alarmed. This is normal.
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah, the emotional release. I don't even know where the tears came from. There was no lead up. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
boom, weeping.
Yeah. That deep sigh and exhale, because you literally feel your body. Because when you're holding, you're like this, and then when you exhale, it's like a depletion. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
everything that you're stressed about is out with the breath. Um, and I think that's where they get you. You
And
know?
you know what? For me, I don't think it was the stress that
Mm-hmm.
was being released. I noticed that it was during the inner child part. And he said, you know, you visualize your younger self and offer her some grace,
Mm-hmm.
offer her an apology. And it was that moment where I just visualized younger me, and it was just so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that I didn't suppress
Yeah.
the tears.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I didn't have the knowledge that I do regarding like mental health and the way trauma works and things like that, I think the old me would have probably really suppressed it and been like, no, no,
Yeah.
no, I cannot cry. I'm in a public space. But
Yeah.
I really was like, okay, my body is saying to cry. I am going to cry.
And to cry. Yeah. Let it out. Then you
Let it
felt
all out.
so
Let
good
go.
after. Let it
Let go.
go.
So another reason why mouth breathing is used is because it alters consciousness. The rapid carbon dioxide release can create lightheadedness, euphoria, or trance like states
Mm.
used in transformational breathwork techniques. So I do recall feeling the lightheadedness and like this trance like out of body experience as
Yeah.
well. It's so strange because I think about the fact that this was 2 hours and the fact that we were lying down there for 2 hours and I didn't even feel uncomfortable. I thought that perhaps I'd have some back pain or,
Yeah.
just very fidgety. That just demonstrates to me that I was really like locked in
Yeah.
this
You're is
whole
so in
time.
tune with it. Yeah. Yeah. And even when you think about it too, like when you're breathing through your nose, there's only so much you can get in. There's only so much oxygen. But versus like trying to breathe in with your mouth, you can even control how much you're breathing in. When
Mhm.
with your nose, it's so like there's just one path. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's definitely worth it to try the difference
Mhm.
and feel the difference.
Mhm.
Um, through breath work and see what resonates with you and what doesn't, what makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable and what doesn't, and also being brave to push past it a little bit, push past the discomfort just a little bit and see what you get.
And when it comes to everyday breathing,
Mhm.
the chronic mouth breathing isn't ideal for that.
Yeah,
So I'm just speaking on when it comes to breath work
breath work.
workshops and events that you attend, or if you are doing a breath work exercise. But when it comes to everyday breathing, chronic mouth breathing can cause things like stress, anxiety, and poor oxygen absorption. So
Mhm.
the nasal breathing is best for daily
Yeah, so
breathing.
please don't walk around breathing through your mouth
No,
every day. No,
don't walk around breathing your hot breath into people's
please don't.
faces. Do you attend an event like this again?
For sure. 100%.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm more open to now wanting to just try a bunch of different things.
Hmm.
Because I'm so excited. The wellness space is so massive right now, and everyone has their own techniques that they've come up with. But just the overall thought of different ways to relax is just like, why not? Why not? But yeah, that definitely has made me open to it. I do want to do a little bit more in like sound bath or
Mm.
like things like that. Uh I love anything sensory.
And if you're hearing this and you're thinking, I would feel very intimidated going to something like this, perhaps you can go with a friend. I think going with Shantae made this experience a lot better just because it helped with the nerves. Doing it with someone experiencing something new for the first
Mhm.
time with another person can also be really nice. So you don't have to do it alone, but if it is something that you want to do alone, that's really cool too.
Yeah.
The person that we met, our new friend,
Oh my God, such a
she
sweetheart.
actually, yeah, she was such a sweetheart. Shout out to you if you're watching, you know who you are. She attended the event alone, and I saw other people, many people attended the event alone as well. So there's no pressure to attend with anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw there was a couple right in front of us and they were like stealing touches and hugs and kisses. And we're like,
I
oh my God, this
know.
is
I love
so
that. They
cute.
were like
Love the wellness
caressing
couple.
each other,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
beautiful to
It was really
witness. So what exactly is breath work, right? There is science to back the evidence that breathwork is super important and it can be very beneficial. So the science is when it comes to our body does have an automatic stress response controlled by
Mhm.
the autonomic nervous system. And there are two key players here. The sympathetic nervous system, this is the fight or flight mode that kicks in when we're stressed. And then the second key player is the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the rest and digest mode that brings us back to the sense of calm.
Mm.
Breath work is one of the fastest ways to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and it tells your body, hey, we're safe, it's okay to relax, chill.
Mhm.
So, how does this really work within the body? It all comes down to the vagus nerve. This is the superhighway connecting your brain to your heart, lungs, and gut. Slow, deep breathing, especially diaphragmatic breathing, stimulates the nerve, lowering your heart rate, blood pressure, and even reducing stress hormones like cortisol. And get this, breathwork also increases something called heart rate variability, which is a key marker of your body's ability to handle stress. So the higher your HRV, the more resilient and calm you feel.
Thanks for sharing that. And as we've discussed so many times, and even like shared our own experiences, like the overall benefits of breath work, definitely the mental emotional part where it's like you're reducing your anxiety, trauma healing as well, just getting trauma out of your body through movement, increasing clarity. We have its physical benefits, which is like lowering our blood pressure, improving our oxygen flow, um, enhancing our energy because we did feel energized afterwards. Spiritually, just kind of opening our mind to being present, opening our mind to or pushing our minds to see outside of just what we're feeling right now and increasing that mind body connection
Hmm.
for sure, which is 100% important, especially when it comes to healing trauma and just connecting to our overall intuition. I think when it comes to processing trauma and the way that you see your trauma and that mind body connection, just think of it this way, like your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. And I think we talked about that in so many ways earlier in this episode. But to truly understand that and realize that It's not just in our heads. And if we want to heal, we have to take a more holistic approach, and really get in tune with that mind, body, soul connection.
Yeah, and I just to add on to that as well, when we experience significant trauma in our life, our brain wants to protect us from any threat,
Yeah.
right? Because the idea is we've experienced this trauma and that was a threat, that was not safe. I want to ensure that you do not have to go through this again. So essentially, the world, people, your own emotions become a place of non safety, which is
Mhm.
why through grounding exercises, through meditation and mindfulness, what you're doing is you're rewiring your brain to say, hey, you are safe,
Mhm.
you are okay, it's okay to relax. And
Namaste.
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 If you want to learn a little bit more about the role of your body when it comes to processing stress, processing trauma, I do recommend that you read The Body Keeps the Score. This is one of the best books I've ever read. It's so educational, but it's also an easy read.
Yeah.
So there is lots of science in it, but it doesn't feel too jargony or it doesn't feel too overwhelming. You're able to digest a lot of the information.
Yeah.
Some of you might be watching this and thinking, all right, I get it. Breathwork is great and important. Like, how do I even get started? So what we're going to do next is we're going to guide you through two different breathing exercises that you can do at home. You can do it in your car. You can do it anywhere you'd like. So Shantae will guide us through the first breathing exercise.
Yes. Okay. I like to let my client or instruct anyone to just find the position that feels the most relaxing for you, whether it's just slouching on your bed or sitting in a chair or even sitting on the floor. If your feet feel better outstretched, they feel better if they're crisscross applesauce, whatever feels comfortable for you. And once you find your comfortable position, you can either close your eyes or keep it open, whichever one feels comfortable for you. Take a moment, taking a few deep breaths at your own pace, feeling comfort. So the exercise that we're going to do today is 478, where we inhale through our nose to a count of 4. We're going to hold for a count of 7, and we're going to exhale through our mouth to a count of 8. We're going to take 2 deep breaths before we start. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now we're going to inhale through our nose to the count of 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gonna do it again. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, you can open your eyes.
I need a nap.
Yeah.
That was really good. Really
Really
relaxed.
awesome.
Is that one that you use with your clients, Shante?
478, yes. I
Mm-hmm.
do. I do that a lot. I find that they really react to it. It's one of those techniques that it's like, wow, this is the because the exhale is so much longer than the inhale, like that open chest feeling of like, whoa, I just really took a breath.
Mm,
Um, and I really got to like exhale for such a prolonged period of time. It gives you that like full body relaxation feeling instantly, which I think people love.
mm,
Especially those who are dealing with anxiety. It's such a good way to just pause, take a pause, um, feel what you're feeling, but also know that you can let it go.
mm.
And I think that kind of it serves as a good visual or a bodily reminder that you can just let it go for now.
Yeah, fabulous. Next, I'm going to guide you through a different type of breathing exercise. This one is called the dragon breathing technique. So, what I'll do is I'm going to demonstrate it first, and then I will guide you through it and we can do it together. So, the dragon breathing technique consists of 2 deep inhales through the nose, hold, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. It's also going to incorporate some humming, so using sound to release as well. So we're going to do 2 without sound and then 2 with sound. The first one is going to be, again, 2 inhales, hold, exhale. So I'm going to demonstrate it. 2 inhales, hold, and then exhale. Something to note about the inhale is I want you to think of 2 levels. So that first inhale is going to be a little bit more shallow, and then the second inhale is going to be a little more deep. Hold, and then exhale. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's do that together. Get comfortable. You can lie down. Situate your body in a way where you just feel very, very relaxed. All right, close your eyes. We're going to do that first inhale in 3, 2, 1. Second inhale deeper. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through your mouth. Let's do that again. First inhale in 3, 2, 1. Second inhale. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for as long as you can go. In our next set, we're going to do the 2 inhales, the hold, and when you exhale, I want you to hum. Any sort of sound that can come out of your mouth, I want that to be your exhale. All right, so in 3, 2, 1, first inhale, second inhale, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hum. And the next one, I want you to hum for as long as you can go until your body says, okay, this is enough. All right, so let's do that again. First inhale, second inhale, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hum. One final deep breath in and exhale.
That was really good. I love the humming, even though it didn't come out vocally.
It's okay. It's all good.
No. Yeah.
Dragon breathing technique is something that I incorporate for clients that don't resonate with the 478 method.
Mhm.
And again, this just reflects that just because one certain breathing exercise doesn't work for you does not mean that breathing techniques are not for you. There are
Yeah.
many different techniques to explore. So I would encourage you all to look it up. I'm going to actually include a link to a YouTube channel that goes through breathing exercises so you can do it at home for free. Yeah, it is a very cheap and affordable,
It's very
free,
affordable.
not even just affordable, it is free.
It is free. Breathing.com. Oxygen.com. That's all you need. Thank you guys for just joining us again for our second episode in the bag. We're super excited to continue bringing you more content. So, if you're able to walk away with one golden nugget today, that would be amazing. If not, just leave whatever it is that you do not want to take with you. It's okay. We'll see you again in our next video. Just let us know what it is that you would like to learn about, talk about, things that you've been seeing in the wellness space that you want us to address. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Yes, and also if you do have any questions or you're curious about more of our experience, feel free to comment or you can reach out to us directly through Instagram. Our Instagram is Vera Sessions Pod, and we'll be happy to have a conversation about that. Alrighty, bye bye. See you in the next one.